Hello and welcome to TRPG, the talk show that started the whole channel. Today I am Nikki, aka a creepy ass crying doll that was supposed to be a clown, but didn't work out. And Darby?
Hello, I am. Is it this way? It's this way. Lo-fi hip hop girl. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
All right, Darby, what's in your cup?
Mm,
Is it
a
Gatorade
roll of
again?
garbage bags.
What? Okay, so apparently Darby didn't get anything to drink, which it's a good thing we're pre-recording this and not live, so people can't make us hydrate. Um, I am drinking out of my very fancy butterfly and roses cup some happy
Ooh.
tummy tea because I ate two very heavy meals today and my tummy is sad about it. So this is ginger and mint, and it's really tasty. Normally, I would be drinking something from Friday afternoon tea because we have like a really great promo with them, and also because their teas are really cool. And Friday's Brain is really awesome. And everyone should go visit Friday Afternoon Tea if you're ever in Seattle because it's super freaking cool. So, yeah. Darby, do you have anything cool going on in the TTRPG space?
Sleep away.
Yeah, we've got
I
Sleepaway on Weave the Tail, right?
Yes, Fridays at noon 30. That's not a time. 12:30 PST. I'll weave the tail. Super hunky dory. Definitely have not found deceased individuals on our campgrounds. Not at all. Uh, I also did not kill off my character. What would be 3 days ago from this time of recording, and like 2 weeks ago from when this airs. So,
Cool.
yeah.
I am playing in we had a player drop Avatar Redemption, so I got to step in and I'm playing a we're pre-recording that. We'll be releasing that in November. And so that will come out soon. From when this is recorded, it will be pretty soon after. I'm playing Mimi, whose name is Marmalade. She chose it herself. But she goes by Mimi, and she's this tall, lanky rogue character who is annoying the heck out of Ryo Moss's character, and I'm loving it. So the vibes are good. I missed playing with Glyza and with Honey so much. And as always, Riley is the perfect GM for Avatar, and I'm just so pleased that we are playing this together. Speaking of Glyza, Darby, do you want to do our intro for our first guest?
Yes, and I would love to share what Glyza put on our form verbatim. A person with many hats? Question mark. Someone who needs to sleep? Question mark. Ha ha ha. This is the intro that Glyza gave to us to introduce them. So, introducing Glyza, our wonderful guest. Hello, Glyza.
Hello. That was a very long time ago, and I should probably update that because I've been in TTRPG for a while now. I mean, in like games and the stuff, whatever. Hi.
Mood. Hello. Howdy.
Hello.
All right. Well, thank you for that one very descriptive intro that you submitted to us. So, my first question to you, as is always our first question to our guests, what's in your cup?
I have two cups currently. They're not actually like cups. They're like one is a soda it's Diet Coke. And one, because I'm trying to be better, a whole jug of water.
Ooh,
Look, I'm like there for like
variety.
Hydrate or die straight.
Yeah.
I don't want to die straight.
No,
I don't.
no. One of the greatest compliments someone ever gave to me was telling me that even though my partner and I look like on the outside, this looks like a straight relationship. Like we
You
eke
both have
queer
high life
couple
energy.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that was
like
me. I'm pretty
oh,
sure I
was it
said
you?
that.
No, but someone else said that too recently on
I was
like
like, both by energy.
that meme where it's like a totally straight couple, unless and they're both holding bi flags and just like yeah, that energy. But yes, I'd rather never die straight. I'll live forever if that's what it takes. But yes, alrighty. Thank you for sharing what's in your cup because somebody remembered to bring a cup. Definitely wouldn't be me.
It's not a cup. I mean, technically, it's a temporary cup.
What
I have
is
other cups.
what is a jug but a cup persevering?
Exactly. That is definitely what a jug is.
Mm-hmm. Don't say that. All right. Thinking of what jugs are euphemism for, and we're moving on. So, my next question for you, Eliza, is the last time, one of the times that you've been a big part of TTRPG is when we did Dragon Day. And something I'd like to ask you is why are dragons and phoenixes such an important image for you?
So, I'm gonna start with Phoenix first, because that's the first one that I got really super attracted to, even as a kid. Phoenix, basically, when they burn into a crisp, they're reborn. And when I was 8 years old, I had a family sort of accident where I survived an explosion. Basically, there was a gas leak in our house, and it went boom. I was 8 years old, and whatever. But ever since, like, when I remember like phoenixes, when I look at phoenixes, it gives me this sort of hope that even though at a young age we experienced this kind of thing, my brother was 5, we were still able to grow out of it, become whatever it is we are. I honestly don't think I would recognize what my life would be if I didn't have that accident when I was 8. I don't know a life without my scars, without all of this experiences. So that's why phoenixes are really, really important to me. Dragons, on the other hand, I grew up like reading all kinds of dragon stories. Like I adore dragons, especially when they're the talking ones. And um sorry, there was a little bit of uh an intrusive thought named Darby that just like flew over my head there. But dragons are the best for me because I really like their I like how they're portrayed as smart and intelligent, and yet so many people are like branding them as monsters. And I think dragons were the first time I looked at a monster and I was like, you know what? I could see that. Yeah. I was a kid. I didn't say that, but I knew what I was thinking. I knew it. I
No,
was a monster appreciator.
yeah.
Let's just say that as yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that appreciation grew, perhaps.
Oh yeah. One of my call I have two call to fames. One I
People
call
cowards on the
companies
internet.
cowards so that they can support me. And it has worked at least 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Where I've called somebody a coward and they're like, you know what, we're not cowards. I'll pay you to do stuff for me. And I'm like, yes. The second thing is that for some reason, when I engage in monster appreciation with certain celebrities, they follow me back or they follow me. It has happened twice now. The first one is Anthony Rapp. Uh, and our last conversation was me trying to convince him that this certain D&D monster mosquito looking thing was very
A Strix? A Strix?
yeah, it's a monster mosquito, and people were like, "Do you want that thing near your face?" I'm like, "It's not going near my face. That's not where that's going in anyway." Um,
Sturge. Yes, it is a Sturge. Thank you, damn.
Anthony Rapp saw that and was like, "You know what? This is the person I want to be around," and followed me. And then the second one was when Gail Simone, one of the writers of Deadpool, one of my heroes, tweeted, "Is what if kaiju's had a glory hole?" And I said, "Gail, what?" And then I said, and then I had a follow-up tweet where I said, "Well, um, if they do, Pacific Rim is gonna be a whole different movie." And then she retweeted that and followed me immediately.
Be a Pacific Rim job.
Rim job. Exactly. But yes, that is my claim to fame. Anyway, let's continue with the interview. I don't want to reveal all of my weaknesses on TTRPG. I'm a normal person.
Yeah. I we are neurotypicals. We
I
are
am
straight
pointedly
are
drinking my tea.
neurotypicals.
We're neurotypical people. I'm gonna drink my water.
Look,
I'm gonna
can't
hold
pass
up my
for
garbage
straight, and I
bags.
can't pass for neurotypical. I'm just not even gonna try. I'm not gonna try. What's the point of trying?
I was trying to shake it like it's a bottle, but I realized that this is not the motion you want to make while holding something tubular in your hand. So,
Don't worry about it. This is pre-recorded. I'm sure Nikki's gonna edit stuff.
Nikki edits nothing because she's lazy.
Nikki edits nothing. This is all staying in comedy gold, baby. So speaking on monster fucking, why do you love Monster Care Squad so much?
So Monster Care Squad is definitely one of my favorite games. So much so that I've made friends with the creators. I just absolutely adore Monster Care Squad because of the twists that they make. So there are several reasons. One, I love monsters. Two, I like how these the players are meant to, it's a game of caring, right? You're not there to fight one another, you're not there to fight other people. You do have to fight certain situations, but it's never meant to harm anyone. It's the Aldamora is a utopia that is actually really cool to explore, but they still have problems, so they still have this monster creatures. Another thing that I like about it is because these are monsters. Still, these are scary monsters. There's one content warning, spiders. There's one that's just a huge spider, but instead of like it has many eyes, and those eyes sort of like detach and sort of become little spiders, and it's like they're the sweetest fucking thing. Like I'm reading about these monsters and they're like super sweet. And that's the thing I love about it, because it does do well in melding like wholesomeness and horror. And for whatever reason, I absolutely love that genre, that sort of like bent genre where you can scare the crap out of your players, but also by the end of it, they're in love with this monster, that they want to save this monster, even though like the effects of this monster being sick is totally terrifying. So that's why I love Monster Care Squad.
Tight. Like, you're saying smart words. I just want to like I do the thing where you just go like I am actively listening, and monsters appreciate them, fuck them, care them.
Yeah,
all
I think it's just like there's so much TTRPG games where like monsters are always portrayed as evil, and that's fine. There's like, monster of the week. You can even play monsters yourself. But what I love about Monster Care Squad is that it turns all of it upside down, where you're not really there to fight. You're there, the solution is never to really fight, but there's like a difference. It helps players to think about different ways that they can handle certain other situations. Like after I started playing Monster Care Squad, whenever I play in other games like D&D and stuff, my immediate reaction is not to always, all right, well, I'm going to attack it. My immediate reaction is, hey, can we talk to it? Is it something that we can talk to first and figure out what's going on? And it's such a creative way to play that I've just really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that's just my thing.
I think I'm reminded of when the whole thing on Twitter was going around where people are like, why can't orcs just be evil? Like, if you're seeing blah blah blah, I geeky, like, that whole stuff going around. There's a Black Phoenix Alchemy made this line of like scents. They make these perfumes like that are RPG scents. And they just came out with a line of all the like typically evil races and creatures just doing like super benign stuff, like lizard folk park ranger, like beholder optometrist, like bugbear like doula. Yeah, just like a bunch of stuff like that was just like, listen, y'all, they're just like, they could just exist and do stuff, you know what I mean? I feel it feels weird to be like, and I have this conversation at work sometimes where it's like, it's kind of weird to just assume that because somebody was born like to a certain group that they're just evil. Like that's fucking weird. And the fact that you chose
terrible.
Yeah, and the fact that you chose these certain groups, that's
With their
definitely coded.
stereotypes,
Yeah.
coded, you're
Yeah.
racist. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
You can defend yourself. I just won't believe you, and I would just remove myself from your presence. Thank you very much.
Yep. Hey. Yes. But away from shitty grognards, let's talk about Dragon Day. We are super looking forward to planning it. And so we want to know, what is your dream cast for a one shot on the next Dragon Day? Like, if you could pull anybody.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay. These are my dream cast for a one shot on our next Dragon Day. And I'm going to say this in the most respectful way possible. These are all people that I love in the way I love certain monsters. And I hope that they never, ever, ever, ever,
Sorry. I don't know if anyone else heard that, but I
they never, ever watch this episode, because I want to present myself as a professional. However, I am not, clearly I am not a professional.
Professional
First
monster
of all,
appreciator.
Yes. First of all, of course, we've talked about this, Erika Ishii. I definitely want Erika Ishii in whatever. Just like, yes, please. Second, is Gabe. I want Gabe to be in there. 100%. I want Gabe. Anthony Rapp, sir. We've already established that we have a connection of sorts. Let me join you at a table. Just hang out with me at a table, sir. I know we might not meet certain criteria, but that's okay. I could be your friend. Just sit at my table, sir. So that's another one. I also want absolutely Cynthia Marie. That one is a bit easier in a sense that I have friends who are friends who we can get Cynthia Marie, but I think Cynthia Marie is like the coolest person ever, because whenever they play in any like Vampire the Masquerade games, they totally terrify me. And I think I just want to be terrified. Those are my people that I want to be in a one shot for Dragon Day, where we will play dragon games together. Yeah.
I'm so excited for Dragon Day. It's
Yeah, me
last time was
too.
so fun and rewarding, and I can't wait for our next one.
Yeah.
Liza.
It might be a little bit different where we would wait until midnight, but also
Yeah, I don't
really
want to
like
do that again. That was a lot.
but I also really, really like ending on my birthday. And I am an Aquarius, and sometimes I still do get my way. But since Nikki is the one helping me, I would follow whatever Nikki says. I would follow Nikki over a cliff.
True facts.
Because it was Nikki. And
Yep.
I'd be like, if Nikki jumped over a cliff, would you follow Nikki? I would be 100%, because Nikki knows exactly what she's doing.
I was thinking of that Brooklyn Nine-Nine quote where it's like, well, if Rosa jumped off a cliff,
only if Nikki jumped first. Yes.
I would assume that Nikki has done the prerequisite research in order to jump off, blah, blah, blah. That, yes, absolutely, jump off the cliff.
Yes, that's the only way you would get me to jump off a cliff. I would do all of my research about how to do it safely, because I am a scaredy cat.
Glyza, a quick follow-up to that cast. Who would you get the GM?
Oh.
Would you be a player? Would you
Dylan?
GM?
I would be
I think Dylan, right? Like Super Dylan.
I would love Super Dylan to like be the GM. I want to play with all these people just so I can have a chance to be in a romantic relationship, even in my dreams, even in TRPG. So yes, I would want to be in the game. Super Dylan would be amazing as a GM for this, and I know it would be the best story ever. I don't even want to know what 10 candles.
Oh,
That's what I want.
Your
10
10
candles, but
candles
with
but your
dragons.
dragons.
Yes. So the dragons all die, and then I want one of them, like before I die, I want to be the second one to die so that one of them could hold me in their arms
As you
and just
die.
be like, as I die, and just be like, this is their breaking point. This is the breaking point. And that's what I want.
I love
So
dramatic deaths in TTRPG.
dramatic death is the best thing.
So good. Especially
It's
yeah. I pulled one off on Friday. I planned it from session 0. I like 10 minutes into session 0, I'm like, I'm gonna kill my character. I can speed run kill this character as fast as humanly possible. And I did.
You know,
It's
the
just-
most like fun thing I saw for killing characters rapidly was
Yeah.
Jess Markram on our Starship Troopers game. She played a guy because like that's a game where like lots of people are supposed to die. It's Starship Troopers, but we didn't want to keep killing all the PCs and have to roll up new PCs, right?
Mhm.
And so we basically, it's just like a guy would get killed, and I changed every time one of her characters would die, I would change the overlay. So when A guy, B guy, C guy, D guy, G guy, and we just like went through the guys, and that was his last name was his and her and their last name. And then she would just come up with like a different voice and a different name for the initial each time. And for the for the pronouns, you just put like any/all, and it was so fucking good. She did such a good job, and it was just such a great way to like have like a lot of death in a game that should have a lot of death without having to kill a bunch of PCs. So it was really clever of her and the GM to come up with that.
Speaking of like multiple deaths, one of the things that I'm working on right now is a 10 candles campaign. Yes, campaign. You heard me correctly. It is a
Lights
10
will let me in.
candles. It's a 10 candles campaign where basically it'll be a whole season. My goal is 5 episodes, but each season each episode 10 candles are put out. But it is still a campaign, and I already have it all in my head how I'm going to do it, and
Are
it's
you
going
gonna
to
do
be
it like
perfect.
the same cast each episode or a different cast?
Yes.
Liza, let me in.
It's
Same
like Groundhog
cast,
Day, but
It
like
is
Liza, let me in.
exactly like
Oh my
Groundhog
God.
Day.
Liza,
And it's
Liza.
gonna be beautiful. It's gonna
I
be
want
Please.
to watch
Let me
this.
in.
I want to be in it, but I want to watch it as well
Liza.
for the chaos that will ensue.
Let me in, Glyza. Let me in, please.
Let
please.
me and Darby
Let
play
me
together.
in.
We haven't gotten to play together, and I just
That's
know that Darby and I are gonna cause chaos.
It's gonna be perfect, and I'm excited.
Okay.
And I'm working on like where to pitch it and what to do with it and who I want it to
Oh
be.
man, G Willikers. I wonder
Where
if
which
there's a
channel? Which
Whoa.
channel?
I wonder who could
Um,
produce that for you.
Oh
I-
man, G
I
Willikers. I'm
Let me
fucking
work on it
stumped here.
first. Let me work on it first.
I'm just saying.
That's my Dolly voice.
Dolly voice.
Hello. Hello.
I don't have a Dolly voice. I don't think this is a Dolly voice. I think this is just I don't know.
That's just a nice
I have a
lady
Discord
voice.
kitten voice.
That's
I have a
that's a like kindergarten teacher voice.
Yep.
I'm just lost all the time. I don't know what I'm doing.
I have a Discord kitten voice that
Please
Milan
do the-
hates.
Do the Discord kitten voice.
Hi, Mr. Discord server owner. My name is Henry, and I was wondering if you could buy me that new skin on Valorant.
You gotta call him
Oh my
senpai.
God, thank you, senpai.
Anyways, he hates that so much.
Good. We love that he hates that because he's right.
That's-
It's weird and creepy.
He's right. It's very weird.
But I still want to hear it all the time. That's
Yeah.
how I like it.
You're allowed to like it.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be wrong.
Enough of cursed voices, though. We mentioned Dylan. And speaking of Dylan, can you tell us about your award-winning role on Lost Across the Fence and all the twists that you put the players and the GM through?
Oh, okay. So I recently won best makeup and costume
Hell
for
yeah, you did.
Lost Across the Fence that happened what was it? It was last year. it definitely wasn't. It was last year, and I was going through my secret. Like, there's a character has a secret. I was going through that phase, and when I was reading the different like races, or the different like kinds of characters you could play, I realized that you could have a character playing another character who is secretly another character. That's 3 characters already. And I thought, like, Dylan's not gonna go for this. That's way too much in just 4 episodes. We only had 4 episodes, and I was playing 3 different characters in 4 episodes. And I was so sure that they were gonna be like, no, we can't do that. But the minute I told them that this is what I wanted to do, they were like, oh hell yeah. Yeah, let's do it. So basically, there's humans, there's angels, and there's mages. And the mage is also a whole different thing. The mages were basically hunted down during a war that the angels didn't help. So the mages are upset with angels. So in this game, I was actually a mage pretending to be an angel, but like angels are not super accepted in this world, sort of right now. They're not that common. So I pretended to be human. So that basically the first time people met my character, I was Richard, the fun-loving mechanic who doesn't know anything about cars and only uses magic to fix them. So that was my character. And then the next episode, it was introduced. There was a scene where it's like, wait a minute, Richard doesn't seem to be human. So the GM knows everything. The players only know that I'm pretending to be an angel. No, that the players only know that I was pretending to be human. They knew that I was an angel. And so in the next episode, I started revealing that, oh, there like for the audience, that there's a little bit of secrets going on and all that. And then finally on the 3rd episode, I revealed that they were an angel. All the cast members were like, oh my god, that was such a great reveal, blah blah blah. And in my head, I'm like, you haven't seen anything yet.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. And then finally at the last episode where everything seemed dire, and I had to conserve more energy, I had to explain that away. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe holding on to this disguise is causing a lot of energy. So I removed my disguise, and basically, like, on film, just turned off my angel filter and became the mage, and everybody was super shocked. And basically I went from a man to a blue angel to Cersei, which is the mage character that I made. And it got me the New Jersey Web Fest best in costume and makeup, because I did do 3 different characters. And it's still on YouTube if you want to see the big reveal. All of my castmates were very much upset at what had happened because they had no clue, but like upset in a good way. They're like, what the fuck? It was awesome.
And that's on gender.
Yes. That's also how I started thinking about, they, them? No, she, they first. And then I was, that
lasted a whole week.
That lasted, the she, they lasted a whole week. She, they lasted a whole week. And then I went to a Bridgerton event, and I was dressed up as my Victorian gentleman, and I felt powerful, and everybody called me they, them. And I was like, oh my God. Oh shit, gender euphoria. They, them, it is then forever. So yeah.
We love that for you.
Hell yes. All right. Our last question for you. We are running through Fiora's redemption arc currently on Avatar Redemption. Speaking of like character arcs and character reveals and everything, can you talk a little bit about why you love playing Fiora so much?
Fiora was my first villain, sort of, because I've never played, like, right now I'm obsessed with villains. And like, if you follow me on TikTok, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm just constantly talking about how I am begging to play a villain that scares people. Fiora was my first villain. And I still wanted him to be likable, but still be a villain. So I went in being like this lovable goofball captain that everybody is like, why are you captain? But they love him so much. And then betraying like everybody by kidnapping the love of his life. And that was so much fun, and it broke like the hearts of like the audience. The audience turned on me quick too, but they also really loved Fior. Like they loved the energy of Fior, and honestly, I think that's my favorite. Like my favorite kind of villain, where it's like they're not completely evil, they're more misunderstood. Like there's no excuse for what Fior did, but I like playing that kind of character where there's still something there. But as I continue like exploring different stories about villains, I keep realizing that I just want to play different kinds of villains. I want to play the villain where it's just they're just evil. They're evil for evil's sake. It's fun. I want to be able to play a villain that's very selfish. I want to play a villain that thinks they're doing the right thing for the person that they love, even though they're committing like various, but Fior was the first time that I got to play a villain. So that's why it was very important to me to play Fior. And when there was an option to play Fior as in a redemption arc, I just had to jump on it because I knew that I wanted to be Fior again, and I do want to have a redemption story for him. It's not gonna be a what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think he's gonna find love, but I think that would be something that he would deserve personally. That is how I'm enjoying that character. So
One day I'm gonna be able to play a villain. Just sneak one in.
you played a really great villain.
I'm excited to play a character who doesn't hate Fior. Like
That is true. It's very exciting to be
because Junsho hates Fior. Mimi thinks Fior is awesome.
The second time I appeared as Fior in Avatar Reclamation, it was like whiplash because like in the beginning everybody loved Fior and everyone was like, I don't like you. I'm gonna stab you. And I'm like, oh, that's right, because I kidnapped somebody and they don't like me. That makes sense why they're not happy with me. But like, oh my god, my heart hurts. Fior, my baby. They just hate you so much.
Is this the consequences to my own actions?
It's the consequences to my own actions. Oh no.
Alrighty. Now, give us your plugs, Glyza, and tell us where can we find you? What are you doing? Tell us all the things.
So, a couple of things I'm doing. I am in a couple of books that are hopefully gonna come out whenever it does come out. I'm in Necrobiotic. I wrote a short story for that. I'm very happy with how that story went because it was thoroughly creepy. And then I'm in Anansi's Tapestry of Lives. So when that comes out, I have written a character, an NPC for it. You'll be able to tell that it's me because it has the way I write, it has my gremlin energy basically. And they're Filipino, so I'm excited for you to see that. I'm also a partner of a new channel that just got released. It's called the Gremlin Collective, and I am one of the partners there, and I'm working on there on a lot building that channel up to just have more shows as well. I'm going to be in, as always, a lot of different games. The best thing for y'all to see these games is just by going to bio.link/classical Glyza. I make all of my updates there. My links are all updated. My schedule is on there. I'm also really active on Twitter, so if you're really curious about what I'm doing, I'm on Twitter a lot at Classical Glyza. I'm also on TikTok now, but fair warning on TikTok, I got stuck in the Dom sub brat part of TikTok, so my TikTok is very spicy at the moment.
Got stuck.
I really want to move out of it.
I'm sure you do.
I'm trying. It's not working. I am very much still stuck there. So if you see my TikTok videos being very thirsty, that's because that's what happens when I open it. It's also a little bit gay. So if you want that content, it's on TikTok. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing lately, just playing games. I am writing a new sort of well, not really new. I've been working on this since college, but I am almost ready to start casting eventually for my audio drama called Nightmare Hunts. And it is one of the things that I absolutely adore, and hopefully I'm working with different people to get it funded, and I'm excited to like cast people in it. And yeah, those are like my far, far, far future plans.
Darby's getting her sticky fingers ready to grab a role in that. All right, so we are now going to bring on Dana Ebert, who is an award-winning TTRPG writer, game designer, and voice actor. Also, one of my dearest and like just loveliest friends. And I'm so excited that you're on the show today. Welcome to TTRPG, the talk show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm just very happy. And I am, of course, dressed as Dr. Horrible.
Yes, I love it. Also, your new haircut is very cute.
Thank
it's very
you.
good.
The headphones are definitely ruining like the profile, but it's so cute. I love it.
So our first question, as always, is what's in your cup?
What is in my cup? Well, I'm actually drinking tea today.
Yay.
So I'm really feeling the Smith teas. It's one of my favorite brands. So this is just Lord Bergamot, one of their kind of main ones, but I enjoy a lot of their blends. And I have this little hand-thrown snake cup.
Cute. I love that. Dana, how did you get into TTRPGs?
Uh, as a professionally or as a pastime?
As a pastime, like when did you get into it? How did you get into it?
Yeah, so the year was 1994.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, you just opened a can of worms. And
Wait,
my
so
older
then you would have been like 9?
no comment. Yeah.
I was
Okay, as a
negative
person who was
3.
8 in 1994,
I would have been 9. I'm so glad that you're my age. Because oh my God, I've gone on shows with people for actual plays and had them ask me, oh, so how long have you been playing D&D? And I hate answering that. So I'm like, oh, like 1994. And they're like, oh, it was a year after I was born.
Yeah.
There's so many young people
Yeah.
doing this
I
right
played
now.
in a Masks game with somebody who was born the year after the setting of the campaign. So I was looked at as the expert on the early 2000s, and I was just like,
Oh gosh, I love that.
but yes,
but how
we're
did
surrounded
I?
by babies.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the baby here.
You are the baby in this episode, but like I've also played with Jay, who is a baby, and Maya,
Yeah,
who is a
Jay's-
baby.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but my brother and I were kind of rooting around in like the old family games in storage, and we found an old like Tom Moldvay edition of basic D&D from the 70s. And so we taught ourselves to play it. That's how we started playing D&D. And eventually we saved up and got, the brand spanking new D&D books when second edition came out. And no, actually, I think it was already out, but that was the current edition, and we eventually upgraded. But we went through advanced on the way there. So I've actually played every edition of Dungeons and Dragons.
that's so cool. I love that. Which one's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Not a favorite per se. I like things about all of them. If you ask me which one from a game design standpoint is the most innovative, is the tightest, is the best thought out, it's fourth. 100% it's fourth edition. I like a lot of things about fifth edition. I'm not prepared to call it the best designed or the best balanced by a long shot, and I think 1D&D is intending to correct some of those kind of issues with like the CR and the balancing. I mean, also very well designed. I think probably just as well as 4E, maybe slightly less innovative. Pathfinder 2E, near and dear to my heart. And then I like the old editions. I like first edition. I get nostalgic about certain things about second, but in retrospect, even though that was like my edition growing up, it's really strange in some ways.
Yeah. And you write a lot for Pathfinder, right?
I do. I am a Pathfinder writer. When I say award winning, that's actually referring to the this year's tabletop awards, where Pathfinder 2e won Best Game of 2022.
Cool.
And yeah, and I write for it. So I immediately said I'm going to start putting this in my profile.
That's so
Um,
cool. I love
but
that.
but yeah, I've I'm a regular contributor, and I have not had any time this year where I've been without a Paizo project.
Yeah, so you're like a real professional geek, which is great. So much so that you will be starting up a geek brewery. So like I'm so excited. I've already got plans to like come to Portland for the grand opening. So what tell us about TPK Brewery and
Yeah.
your role and I'm so excited.
God, I really hope you come down to visit. I would love to see you there. I'd
Oh,
love to do
yeah.
something with you. Like we
I'm
should
gonna.
do an event.
Yes.
Yeah. But TPK Brewing Co. is coming to Portland, Oregon in 2023, and it is a majority queer women of color owned craft brewery. And our gimmick is that we're going to have full-time professional game masters on staff that you'll be able to book games with, and they will. It really, I won't know until we do our hiring exactly what portfolio of games we will be running, but definitely D&D, and we're going to have a flagship experience, which is going to be an in-house sort of locally multiplayer D&D campaign.
I love that. Like a West Marches, but in the brewery.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
love that.
that's 100% right. I was researching West Marches to write the structure for it. West Marches, of course, being a style of role playing to facilitate one game master running lots of content for a very large number of players. And they're good guidelines. And I feel like because we have full-time game masters on staff, or we will, and when they're not running games, they're going to be helping me create content. I don't have quite as many limitations as someone running like a pure West March is, but I'm very excited to have a team of people working on this large scope campaign with multiple adventuring parties.
That's so cool. I can't wait. May I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
As a person who does not drink alcohol, you should have a root beer on draft. Or
Oh
a ginger
yeah.
beer on draft. Like it would be so nice because like I often go out with my friends to when they're all drinking and like I go because I'm an extrovert. I want to be around people. But then my options are like, hey, can I have a soda? Like, can I have a Coke? I guess. And so it's not as fun as like going up and getting my little pint glass and having something off the tap. So yeah, it'd be really cool if you had like ginger beer or root beer for people like me and for people like Liza. That would be so cool.
Okay. We already have some plans for that. I'm a little less tied into the brewing side. Because I of course have two business partners, our head brewer Jess Hardy and our CEO Elliot Kaplan. I'm the creative director, where all three of us are co-founders. But yeah, I know we have plans besides beer to have some non-alcoholic drinks, to have a few cocktails, and to have coffee and some other things. But I will relay the feedback of wanting it to go through the taps. That's a
That'd be
good
so.
idea.
It would just make it a little more special, and it gives it a different flavor because it's got like the extra bubbles and stuff. But
Mhm.
anyway,
I mean, that reminds me of why I like suggesting shit, tits, balls, what's it called? There's a D&D drinks book that Todd Stashwick wrote, but in it has mocktails as well as real cocktails so that you can make something fun for your friends, because
Oh,
it sucks to
interesting.
be fucking teetotal and to get boring as like, oh, here's like a cranberry juice, or here's the seltzer from
Okay,
the shit I
so
was mixing.
as two folks who don't drink, what would be your ideal drink for something like this?
well, okay, so. So the root beer or ginger beer I love. Like I just
Hmm.
love a simple root beer. If I'm going for something sweet, and I like a good ginger beer. Plus you can use ginger beer for other drinks as well, so it would be a good investment, I suppose. Um, As for like mocktails, I would just like it if more bars understood how to make non-alcoholic mocktails using the ingredients that they already have. Because like I'll be like, hey, can I get that, but as a mocktail, and they're like, oh no, I can't do that. It's already pre-mixed, and it's like, well, like, how'd you mix it? Like, how'd you mix it then? I did go to a wedding once, and they did actually make me a really nice mocktail. The male bartender looked at me like I was crazy, but the female bartender was like, I got it. And then she just like put this whole drink together. So I'm pretty like easygoing about it. In the chat, in our Zoom chat, Glyza's recommending non-alcoholic ciders. That's always nice. And you can do seasonal rotations of those, which is also cool, like pumpkin cider and definitely all these other things. But I just think like it would just be nice to get the chilled glass and have a drink I can have
Yes.
that looks like my friends' drinks. I'm not picky about it. I just am tired of getting Coke and Pepsi. Like, can I, like, please, people? I'm tired of getting
No,
soda
that's
water
a
with
mood.
lime in it. Like, I'm not picky. But yeah, so it's
Make it cute.
yeah, make it cute. Put a little umbrella in there. So one of the reasons that I love having you on our channel is, first of all, you're a really great performer. You really get into character, and you're one of like most naturally funny people I know. Like you just make these like one-off sentences and these one-liners that just kill me.
Thank you.
Which like there were so many times I knew you wanted to make a joke during Los Casados and you couldn't because it was too serious.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of doing comedy shows is knowing when not to make jokes.
Right. And that was our very serious business show. But I can always count on you being as extra as I am. If I say this is a cosplay stream, you're going to come and cosplay. If I don't say it's a cosplay stream, you and I are going to come and cosplay. It's me and you. I want to get me, you, and Nala Wu on the same show because it's just so extra. And Glyza too, because Glyza will go fucking extra to like get in a costume and play a game together because I appreciate people who are as extra as I am. But where does that come from? Like, are you a theater kid as well, or is it all just that you're really into geek stuff?
I'm mostly really into geek things. I wasn't a real theater kid. I was super into theater in middle school, but not high school. But I do definitely have so that performance bug, and I like attention, and I like things like I'm rather new to cosplay, but I'm liking it a lot. And yeah, I just love role playing, and that's another way to engage with it. That's very fun.
Yeah, I think for me, that's when we were doing Los Casados, Cameron had asked me, like, how do you get into character? And part of it is putting the costume on. Because, like, coming on screen as Orla and, like, the corset and the curls and the whole thing and actually doing my makeup like they did in the 1800s, it did set the tone for what I was about to do. And, like, putting the necklace on, that was the real one, was putting the necklace with the ring on. And so I agree with you. I think like getting into costume is really helpful for embodying these characters.
Yeah, I love that. And if I can just add, I'm very similar, and it's pretty normal now because there's so many professional voice actors that do AP shows, that like voices in role-playing games are more common than they've ever been, and like that style of role-playing is more common. But I always used to get into character by finding my character's voice and then leading from there. Whereas my partner gets into character through props, by having props, and so we'll give her like a cloak or a crystal ball or something.
You always have props too, though. I remember the very first game I played with you, you came in costume and you had a prop. You like had a deck of cards or something on the table. Yeah. And so you came on and we're like in a card game and you just pull these cards up. I'm actually really excited. So Monday I'm going to be on Divine Intervention on Exquisite Corpse Presents, and I'm playing Lust, which should surprise nobody who knows me. But they use compact mirrors as like their communication devices. And when I read that my character has a heart-shaped one, I went and bought one. So now I have a heart-shaped compact.
Oh my god, it's so cute though.
And so yeah, I'm getting fully into character, and the reason I got cast is, remember when we did Rainbows? And so basically, DK saw pictures of Lynette and was like, that's who I want to play Lust. So I was like, Lynette is
that's
not that,
awesome.
but yes.
I love that.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. It should be really fun, but props and costumes and all of that is just, it brings me so much joy. I am a theater kid at heart, and I hung out with the theater kids. I feel like it's a nearly universal queer experience to hang out with the theater
Oh
kids.
yeah, no, I was friends with theater kids, and I will be honest. Like some of the reasons that I got out of theater in retrospect were just very, very like kind of prima donna reasons. But once I got into high school, or actually the kind of end of middle school, like I stopped getting cast in lead roles in school theater, and that just it bummed me out. I went and did other stuff.
Yeah. So here at the channel, people often speak about how tabletop role-playing games help them explore their queer identity. Would you say that rings true for you as well?
Yeah, and I didn't think about it, for over a decade, but throughout all of high school, I was role playing basically every weekend in my dad's game, and I've tweeted about this. Some of my most liked tweets. But I played this character named Mavis. She was 6 feet tall, with shoulders for days and like the big sword and the whole deal. And
We love
even
a
like
big lady around these parts.
oh
We
yeah,
love a big
she's
lady.
strong. And
Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. Mommy,
and I
sorry.
I still love her. And even like at the table, the other players, the DM referred to me with her name and pronouns, and so that was like, ooh, that was very affirming at a time when I was not out.
Something
And
has changed within me.
right, and
Something
then
is not the
Not the
same.
same.
and then as if I didn't know, at the end of the campaign, like she married one of the party NPCs, and I should have known.
I feel like that's another universal queer experience is that I should have known. I should have known. When I came out, my brother said, yeah, I kind of suspected because your feelings about Gwen Stefani in high school were suspicious.
Oh my gosh.
All my high school friends told me 2 months before I came to the realization of like aceness. They're like, Darby, I think you're asexual. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't think that's true. Then totally forgot about that conversation. 2 months later, I discover asexuality. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come out to my friends. I'm gonna tell them I'm asexual. I'm like, hey, yo, I really want to tell you something. I think like, please just hear me out. I think I'm ace and asexuality. So like, yeah, we already know, bitch. We already told you, you dumb fuck. Like, get with the program. I'm like, huh? And they're like, yeah, we told you already. Like, it's all Gucci.
At least I told you. I hate when people come out and then people are like, yeah, we knew. I'm like, then why'd you let me suffer? Like, why didn't you tell me that you knew
I'm stupid.
and that you were cool
like,
about it? Well,
I did forget to tell my mom though that I liked I liked women. I accidentally came out to her while we were watching something. I'm like, oh yeah, and like she's really attractive, blah blah blah. And she's like, huh? I'm like, huh? She's like, you like women too? I'm like, oops. Like I forgot to tell you. I thought you knew. Like I was very open about it. And she was like, huh?
Your poor mom. Your poor mom was so confused.
She was last to know, quite literally.
Oh.
All right, Dana, before we ask you for plugs, you are going to be doing a crowdfunder for TPK Brewery. When is that coming around?
Yeah, so we're doing a crowdfunder campaign as part of their Questember event, which takes place the entire month of November, starting November 1st. And it is to crowdfund a prequel adventure book called The Blooms That Feed on Fire. It's a prequel to our in-house campaign in our original setting, and it sets the stage. I didn't talk about the setting very much, but the campaign that our players will be playing through at the brewery is a post-cataclysmic fantasy setting. And so this adventure, the Bloom set Feet on Fire, is before the Cataclysm and is about some of the key events leading up to it. And it's the first glimpse that our players are going to get into the world that was before it was destroyed. And I think people will be excited about that. But it's mostly to drive hype and then get this book out ahead of our opening next spring. And there's also a lot of other goodies in the rewards. There's stickers, bottle openers, like clothes, like all sorts of TPK swag. We also are going to have some dice that we're working with a dice maker here in Oregon on, which are going to be like an oversized D20 with one of our game logos on the 20 face, and it's going to have 24 karat gold foil inside of it, and then the gilding on the numbers is going to be 24 karat gold as well.
Fancy.
And of course, for those that are local, one of the biggest things in it is, of course, pre-selling subscriptions to our campaign.
That's so cool. I love this idea so much.
And
I wish
so,
I was more local.
yeah, no, I wish we were more local to each other too.
Aw.
But if you want more information, you can go to tpkbrewing.com. That's our website. And if you subscribe to our newsletter on that page, we will be sending out an email when the campaign launches, and also other updates as it relates to the opening of our business.
Awesome. Do you have any other plugs that you would like to talk about? Are you in any games right now?
That was the biggest plug. I don't have any upcoming games. This month on October 14th, I was just a guest on a Transplaner stream.
That's so cool.
It was a really good game. It was a one-shot. I
Who GM'd
recommend Connie.
Connie did. Oh, that's so cool. What a great GM.
So they're doing like the one-shot prequel stories for all the characters.
Right.
And so I was a character in Juron's backstory.
That is really freaking cool, Dana. I'm
yeah,
so
it's
happy
very,
for
very
you.
fun. I recommend it. And then on the early in the morning on the 29th, I'm GMing a D&D game on Roarcat Reads for their Rainbow Refugee charity for this month. And so I'm doing a slightly spooky, slightly romantic game that is a one-shot adventure I wrote years ago that I used to run in bars called Belle of the Blood Moon.
That's awesome.
Very, very excited to do that and actually kind of show my DM chops a little bit. And yeah, other than that, no plugs. Once again, go to tpkbrewing.com, sign up for the newsletter. You can find me on social media as Mistress Dana RPG, and my website is danaebertpdx.com.
Fantastic. All right. So I'm bringing just me and Darby back up. So, what do we have going on the channel? We have Monster Hearts, Bones in the Ocean. Max has not clarified what that name means. I am scared, but I like it.
See?
Oh my god, Darby, get out. The fact that we don't have a pun counter on anything that Darby is on is a travesty. We need to work on that. We need to find a widget for OBS.
To pick with it?
Get the fuck out.
I think it's pretty humorous.
If it wasn't going to mess up my overlay, I'd kick you out of the meeting. Yeah, so that's going on. Look out in November for Avatar Redemption to watch Glyza's Fjord, poor little baby short king, redeem himself. And you get to see Honey as Nimbia again. And Nimbia is done. She is done with our nonsense. And it's been really great to see Honey play that part again. And then in November, we've got some stuff going on for Native American Heritage Month with A Minstrel's Tale, aka Momo. So that'll be really great and cool and fun, and I cannot wait. And Darby, do you have any last minute plugs? Okay. It's like a line of code with this, like, okay. In that case, we will see you on the internet.